Hi, my name is Peter Bruninger, and I'm here with Stephen from PranaFidelity.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being here.
You're getting really nice sound in the room.
Well, I appreciate you liking it very much.
Tell us a little bit about your speaker.
Okie doke.
Good.
The speaker is a two-way, what's called a symmetrical array, versus a Diapolito, which specifies a different kind of crossover. So the symmetrical array dates back to, I guess, golly, probably before I was alive. But what I'm interested in with a symmetrical array is what would still be applied to is what's called the interference patterns, where you have a unified wavefront with the speaker, and being able to do that in a manner that takes into account the propagation efficiency, meaning that at 1 meter that efficiency is going to stay constant from 1 meter to 2 meters to 3 meters throughout the frequency bandwidth.
All the way up.
Yeah, and so that's one thing that these things do pretty well.
Now tell us how this, now, is this this is not an active driver, this is a port right here.
Port.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that's a textile dome tweeter that I get to claim proprietary based upon the gentleman who made that for me.
Yeah, very good, congrats on that.
Thanks. And then the 6-inch drivers are somewhat recognizable as available for those folks who like to build speakers. It's a minimum phase crossover. The crossover point always takes into account what's called a zeta number, and it's not just a set number that we say that, oh, it's 2800 hertz or it's 3000 hertz, but it takes into account a blending of these two drivers. So the crossover is varied according to either the tweeter or the mid-range and where they're going to meet, so you'll have the best relationship between them and non-cancellations, of course. So as a minimum phase crossover, you're somewhat limited with the drivers that you can choose that will honor what the driver can do as
its potential in that setup.
Throughout its range. On the back you'll see that there's a couple of switches. And so these switches represent the designer's fickleness. Okay, because
that being you?
That's me. And the designer couldn't decide just what he wanted. So at the end of the day he said, well, gee, I think I want to attenuate that tweeter from 16 kilohertz down, let's say 2 dB, from 16 kilohertz on, rather. And then the switch accommodates that. So at the down position, I'm at about 2 dB down at 20 hertz. And at the up position, it's from 16 kilohertz on, it's flat, correct, yeah. And then this represents another element of fickleness from the designer when it came to the quality of the mid-range and how I was wanting to, I guess, do as much as I could, and I really couldn't decide, so I decided to integrate within this three different
positions.
That's right, three different positions.
Well, you're real smart on that because now you can tailor the loudspeaker for your room.
To some degree, yeah.
And then sometimes by mood and recording.
That's right.
If you really want to get obsessive.
Well, I suppose there's truth to that our senses change throughout the day, and that our hearing is optimized and most sensitive at certain times during the day. And at night, we can often be much more depleted. And so we don't want to have something that is going to wake us up necessarily. So maybe I need to turn this all the way to rich and warm and turn that down, and that'll be a lullaby to sleep.
Well, so, very good. Well, let's sit down and do a little bit of listening.
Sure, you bet.
Very good. Thank you, Stephen. Thank
you. Brother told you so. Told you that I know. Will these bones rise again? Now my God decided that he would make him a man. Will these bones rise again? He took a handful of mud and a handful of sand. Will these bones rise again? decided he would make him a woman too. Oh, will these bones rise again? He didn't hardly know just what he wanted to do. Oh, will these bones rise again? So he took him a rib from old Adam's side. Oh, will these bones rise again? Then he chose Miss Eve just to be his bride. Oh, will these bones rise again?
Then he put him in a garden, so rich and fair.
Oh, will these bones rise again?
He said, children, you can have everything that's here.
Oh, will these bones rise again?
Oh, but this fruit here, oh, you must not touch.
Oh, will these bones rise again?
Because if you do, you are doomed to die.
Oh, will these